Rice is a staple food for hundreds of millions of people worldwide. Today, white rice is the most commonly eaten type, while brown rice is often promoted as the healthier option. But is that claim actually supported by science? In this video, we'll examine the evidence and end with some practical takeaways. To understand which type of rice is healthier, it's important to look at how they differ beyond their color. Brown rice is a whole grain, meaning it contains all parts of the grain: the fibrous bran, the nutrient-dense germ, and the carbohydrate-rich endosperm. White rice, in contrast, has had the bran and germ removed during processing. As a result, it contains far fewer nutrients and beneficial compounds, especially fiber. A 100-gram or 3.5-ounce serving of cooked brown rice provides about 1.8 grams of fiber, while the same amount of white rice contains only about 0.4 grams, less than 1/4 as much. Brown rice also offers higher levels of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. The most noticeable differences are seen in minerals such as manganese and magnesium. While these micronutrient differences may not matter much for people who eat rice occasionally, they become more relevant for those who consume rice daily. Overall, fiber is the key factor that sets brown rice apart. Brown rice does, however, contain certain anti-nutrients, such as phytic acid and phytates, which can reduce the absorption of some minerals. It may also contain higher levels of arsenic, a naturally occurring heavy metal found in rice and rice-based products. This concern applies to both brown and white rice, although long-term high intake has been loosely associated with an increased risk of chronic conditions, such as heart disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. That said, health risks depend heavily on dose. When rice is consumed as part of a varied diet, arsenic exposure is unlikely to be a major issue, especially since arsenic levels vary by source. Health effects of brown rice compared to white rice. Research suggests that regular consumption of whole grains, including brown rice, is associated with better blood sugar control and a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Small human studies consistently show that replacing white rice with brown rice can reduce blood sugar levels in healthy individuals. In contrast, high intake of white rice has been linked to an increased risk of diabetes. This difference is likely related to the higher fiber and magnesium content in brown rice, both of which support blood sugar regulation. Studies also indicate that whole grain consumption may help reduce risk factors for heart disease. Large analyses have found that people who eat more whole grains tend to have a significantly lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those who eat fewer. While these findings cannot be attributed solely to brown rice, white rice does not appear to provide the same protective effects. Observational studies further show that individuals who consume more whole grains generally have lower body weight. In one controlled trial involving overweight women, replacing white rice with brown rice led to reductions in body weight and waist circumference, particularly when rice was eaten daily. Brown rice is generally the better choice in terms of nutritional value and potential health benefits, especially for people who consume rice frequently. Its higher fiber and mineral content appear to outweigh the possible drawbacks related to anti-nutrients and arsenic when eaten as part of a balanced diet. For those who eat rice only occasionally, however, the nutritional differences between white rice and brown rice are relatively small. White rice can still fit into a healthy eating pattern and does not need to be completely avoided.